Hello, ma'am. Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, trainer. Nice to be back again. Has been
Yeah.
a break.
Am I audible to you, ma'am? I hope
Yes,
there
you
was
are
some
audible now.
technical glitch. It took time to connect.
Mm-hmm.
So, welcome everyone. Today I'm live again with Dr. Richa Prakash, and today we are live for a special reason. I have received a lot of questions from, school, Allenhouse Panki School, and I will be asking those questions on behalf of parents and students of that school. So, ma'am, should we start with our questions?
Yes, of course.
So I am starting from, the classes, like, from the nursery classes, like there are multiple questions and I will be asking. So my first question is that the parent is asking, how can we nurture a culture of kindness in child?
I think it's something which children learn through emulation. जब बच्चे देखते हैं
Yeah,
कि घर में वो माहौल अच्छा है, मतलब वो एक दिन में आप
जी,
नहीं सिखा सकते हैं. So when they say that,
बिल्कुल,
this is something which is a part of the culture of the house.
राइट,
छोटी छोटी चीज हम उन्हें सिखा सकते हैं ये चीजें जैसे कि जब हम किसी हमारे यहाँ जो लोग काम करते हैं हम किस तरह से
राइट,
उनसे बातचीत जब हम उन्हें कुछ टोकन में जैसे जब उन्होंने काम कर लिया है चाय और नाश्ता देते हैं बच्चे देखते हैं कि आप क्या दे रहे हैं और आपको किस तरह से उनके यू आर पुटिंग फॉरवर्ड टू द चाइल्ड कि अच्छा
राइट,
उनसे कर लेना वो या ये आंटी के लिए ये रखा हुआ है वो यहाँ से परस के यहाँ से ले लेंगे बहुत अलग तरीके से जिस तरह से आप बोलेंगे उसी तरह से बच्चे को भी एहसास होता है कि हाउ you care and in every
राइट,
small thing for a child is observing is not judging is just observing तो अगर हम उन सब चीजों को ध्यान में रखें जैसे कि बहुत छोटी चीज है बहुत बार सुनने में भी आता है कि चिड़ियों को इस समय पे पानी मुश्किल हो जाता है मिलना तो अगर
राइट,
हम एक बोल में पानी रख दें और बच्चे की एक हैबिट डाल दें कि बेटा ये आप देख लीजिएगा कि इस बोल में रोज पानी आप रख सकते हैं तो उनको भी अच्छा लगेगा और चिड़िया आती हैं एक दिन नहीं आएंगी दो दिन नहीं आएंगी फिर उन्हें भी एक आदत हो जाती है जैसे इन माई बैल्कनी आई कीप वाटर एवरी डे देयर फूड so even if I am not there in the house like maybe if I've gone over a weekend somewhere else so
राइट,
they come at their fixed time. They
राइट,
come, they wait, and at times in the evening when I put the food, if I'm late, I mean they have such classical conditioning. Even if I'm late, I can hear them chirping, and then I know कि अच्छा भूलना नहीं है ये देना है. तो
बिल्कुल,
अगर हम बच्चों को इस तरह की छोटी चीजें सिखाएं, जैसे कि हमने स्कूल में भी शुरू किया था और अब तो खैर बिकॉज पैंडेमिक की वजह से बच्चे नहीं आ पाते हैं, बट देन वी हैड
जी,
स्टार्टेड इन स्कूल आल्सो. वी हैव
जी,
केप्ट दीज अर्दन एंड उसमें हम पानी रखते हैं बच्चे भी रखते थे जाके जिससे कि दे वर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर इट सो दे वर एक्साइटेड कि अच्छा ब्रेक टाइम
राइट,
में लेट मी गो एंड चेक इसमें पानी है कि नहीं then
राइट,
simple things like laying down the table for a meal children can
राइट,
help it's a helping your sibling ये सब जब charity begins from home similarly kindness begins from home
ट्रू,
जब आप अपने घर में देखते हैं कि जब आपके नाना नानी या दादा दादी या कोई भी बड़ा आया ताऊ जी आए और पापा उठ के खड़े हो गए उनको सीट देने के लिए इसलिए
बिल्कुल,
नहीं कि
बिल्कुल,
मतलब सीट बट उन्हें ये महसूस होता है कि ये एक एलिमेंट है जो एक टुवर्ड्स कंपैशन एंड काइंडनेस लेके जाता है देन लाइक
राइट,
यू कैन हेल्प चिल्ड्रन सॉर्टिंग आउट दोस टॉयज या क्लोथ्स जो बहुत मतलब कभी कभी बच्चों को बहुत अजीज होते हैं दे आर वेरी फॉन्ड ऑफ दैट सो बट बीइंग एबल टू गिव अवे बिकॉज यू आर नॉट यूजिंग एनी लॉन्गर so those are the kind of things I think which we can sort of nurture a feeling of and a culture of kindness in the child.
राइट, राइट. आई थिंक मैम दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि जो बच्चे देखते हैं अपने आसपास के माहौल पे स्पेशली जो अपने घर में देखते हैं पेरेंट्स कैसे बात कर रहे हैं या उनका बिहेवियर आसपास के लोगों के साथ अपने में भी इनफैक्ट आपस में भी कैसे बात कर रहे हैं ये सारी चीजें जो है स्टूडेंट्स बहुत जल्दी सीखते हैं एंड देन दे आल्सो स्टार्ट डूइंग द सेम वे. Now,
True.
another question which I have received is that how can I develop interest, in online classes? I mean, especially the parent is asking on behalf of a student. I think ये एक question जो हम last time भी discuss कर रहे थे और फिर बात कर रहे हैं. इट्स वेरी वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट कि ऑनलाइन क्लासेस का टाइम चल रहा है और इसको इंटरैक्टिव और कितना ज्यादा कैसे बच्चे इसमें इंडल्ज रहे, इसके लिए मैम even I think everybody who is watching us right now would really be very keen to know.
Very true. We also are always engaging with this question in our minds when we are taking classes,
Right,
teachers are taking classes. जहाँ उन्हें लगता है कि okay, this particular tool we have kind of really used. Now the children are bored with it. So, they come up with another tool which they can use online. So,
right,
I think what is very essential in developing interest is, when you have a stake in the child's day. मतलब बच्चे से अगर आप पूछें आज अच्छा क्लास में क्या हुआ, and it's not about studies. पढ़ाई में there are certain things which are very important of course, but
true,
instead of saying कि अटेंड की कि नहीं, मुझे पता है कि तुम ऐसे ही करते हो, have that faith and also ask what was the best thing about the day today. आज क्लास में
right,
सबसे अच्छी बात क्या लगी. That
right,
kind of engages the child, and children will usually come up with something which is not related to studies, because everything is
true,
not related to studies which interest them, or maybe something
right,
related. Maybe there was a story in the class, they were doing a story and the child liked the story, and maybe then you can understand what was it that he or she liked about the story. Some
right,
children are very sensitive, empathetic. They like I there's an anecdote I can share. I have an anecdote now because old, but जब वो छोटा था तो उनके क्लास में एक दुख का अधिकार करके एक स्टोरी थी, तो मेरी सिस्टर ने मुझे बताया कि उसको इस स्टोरी के बाद बहुत जैसे उस पे इम्पैक्ट आया. It's about I will just give a brief, that it's about he was really pondering, and then when my sister asked कि क्या हो गया इतना तुम आजकल एक दो दिन से थोड़े से दुखी क्यों लग रहे हो, तो he said
hmm,
mama दुख का भी सबको नहीं होता. Somebody who's poor doesn't have that space to really mourn the passing away of someone. However, a person who's privileged does not
right,
realize that they have that faith and that privilege and luxury, to be able to mourn the passing away. And how person
right,
who's जो गरीब है उसको अधिकार भी नहीं होता है, the person is ridiculed कि देखो ये follow नहीं कर रहे हैं norms. So how a child is affected. So those kind of interactions, if we have, what was the best moment you had today? That aha moment, those kind of questions. What did you enjoy in the class today? And we have to remember that everything, and especially I think the pandemic has taught us, everything is about that personal connect. Everything is
right,
about a connect, and
right,
relationship connect is most important. And when a
right,
child can connect those classes and the subjects they've studied to their somewhere their real life, I think that
right,
is where the child develops that in
right,
studies, be it online or be
right.
it the physical one we used to be having for decades, and almost we would have completed a century of this kind of an education which was introduced by Macaulay.
Right. Ma'am, another question is it okay to expose the children as young as 5, 6 years to the digital portals like YouTube, Instagram, etc.?
I personally don't think that it is really advisable to expose children to YouTube and this kind of a social digital media at that younger age.
Right.
But yes, there is a lot of learning content which is there on these platforms. And I would
True.
say more than anything, platform definitely has, but you have to monitor. And there has to be a fixed time, even if you are allowing. There has to be a fixed time. There has to be a certain, the distance the child has to maintain from the screen in, using that. And the screen, if you have a phone, you should really avoid. If there's a laptop, if there's a
True.
desktop, then it's better and it's okay. But
Right.
exposing them, the question says exposing them, it's really not a good idea because anyways they'll learn it. It's not something that
Right.
is rocket science which they won't be. These applications are too user friendly that, that somebody will never be able to learn. So with the age when they need, when they require, I think it's only then they should be exposed to something like this.
Right. Can we have some reward or recognition for children to take their active participation? I think this is very very important because I think this is what really motivates a child.
it is there, like we have also grown up, and for everything we were not rewarded and we were not even appreciated. You know, it was not a time of, everybody being appreciated, because then that loses, I feel, that importance. And the child also gets pretty used to, being, even if the child is doing a very basic thing, is like, if you have a guest coming in, or if daddy has come back or mama has come back from work and bringing a glass of water, and you say, oh, beta, you are the best in the world. Once or
Right.
twice, yes, and encouragement is fine. But I feel, rewards and recognitions are, of course, there. Like we also have different activities where children are felicitated for their participation because they put in a lot of effort. Parents put in a lot of effort. But I think, children should be rather taught to be little complacent and satisfied with the process. The process which gives them should be able to give them that fulfillment and satisfaction, and not
Right.
always reward and award. Because Tare Zameen Pe is a very good example. Ki
Right.
everybody cannot be awarded. Everybody cannot come first. Everybody has their own place in this universe. We have our own roles to play, so we cannot emulate the other. We need not compare, because too much of reward and recognition becomes more like a barter system. Then a child feels कि
Yeah.
अगर अच्छा इसमें कुछ नहीं मिल रहा तो मैं नहीं अटेंड कर रही, मैं नहीं कर रही है, इसमें कुछ मिल नहीं रहा है.
बिल्कुल.
So I feel, that it becomes more like a polite way of saying it would be barter system, but kind of bribery, very, you know, not
Yeah,
a
I
very
think a
great
balance is
idea.
very, very important. Balance in, when it comes to appreciation and is also very, very important.
Mhm. True.
Okay, my next question is how and what kind, what ways to make student emotionally strong for upcoming situation in future.
What are the ways to make them?
What are the ways to make them emotionally strong for,
Hello.
upcoming situation? Yeah, hello. Am I audible to you, ma'am?
Okay. So I think, that is something, it's again a process, it's not a one time thing. Uh, it's something which they see in the family. They see the resilience of the mother, the father in
Right,
difficult times, how they are dealing with a particular situation. They are also seeing their school, how, the school is coping with the changes. They have themselves coped with
right,
these changes. And they've been very
right,
brave, these children. Children have been put through very extraordinary ordinary times, and these extraordinary are not really good times, but it has also shown their adaptability. They've adapted
true,
so beautifully to the situation, and I think that
true,
is how, how we perceive a situation. Challenges is, you'd see it as a challenge and as an opportunity to learn. If we create in them that idea of, gratitude, even today, we are definitely more privileged than so many people across the globe. So, if
true,
you have that ability to feel that gratitude and that
right,
kindness towards the other person, towards your situation, and you are
right,
resilient, that brings in, that ability to have patience and then tolerate. So I think
right,
that would be a way of nurturing the children. There is no one, medicine you can give and the child becomes resilient, because the child is seeing, is watching, is all the time, making these connects in his or her mind, that how is so
right,
and so doing, and the children have themselves really, come up with this, really coped, with this
right,
online mode of teaching. We all definitely miss them a lot. Because when I like enter the classes and I see them, and we are all very super excited looking at each other, they come on the
yeah,
videos. It's a lovely moment, But emotional strength, uh, we can never be, it's never, you can never be prepared all the time. It's not like,
true,
who knew
true,
that world would move on this kind of a platform, being so well aware in the digital platforms and digital technology. And so, the scientists also are working towards so many things, but then we are never too well informed, and maybe we are never too well prepared. So, that
right,
adaptability, if they're able to adapt, I feel that brings in emotional strength.
true, true. मैम आई कैन सी अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चन, इनफैक्ट मेरे क्वेश्चन की आइटिनरी में भी ये क्वेश्चन है कि इस टाइम पे, पैंडेमिक के टाइम पे, जहाँ एक जनरल वेलबींग भी बच्चों की काफी ज्यादा इफेक्ट हुई है बिकॉज ऑफ नॉट गोइंग टू स्कूल, नॉट मीटिंग देयर फ्रेंड्स एंड टू मेनी थिंग्स। सो इस टाइम पे मैम बच्चों की मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में अगर हम बात करें तो उसमें किस तरीके से पेरेंट्स और मे बी टीचर्स या स्कूल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन क्या रोल प्ले कर सकता है कि बच्चे मेंटली अपने आप को, मेंटल जो उनकी वेलबींग है वो अच्छे से और स्ट्रांग और पॉजिटिव रख सके।
सी जैसे मैंने कहा कि इट्स ऑलवेज अ प्रोसेस, इट इज नेवर गिवन अप ऑन। लाइक हम लोग के यहाँ एलन हाउस पंकी में वी हैव दीज सेशंस व्हिच आर कॉल्ड स्किल्स फॉर लाइफ सेशन। मैंने पिछले
ओके।
बार भी इसके बारे में जिक्र किया।
जी।
एंड इट इज
जी।
अ इनबिल्ट थिंग इकोसिस्टम ऑफ द स्कूल, ये अलग से नहीं है। एंड इट्स नॉट अ होमवर्क रिलेटेड थिंग, इट्स नॉट असेस्ड एट एनी लेवल, but these are the sessions where like abhi is समय पे children, because of this pandemic we have taken up the idea of acceptance, awareness and reconciliation.
जी।
So
जी।
for last 3 months we're working on the concept of awareness. You are aware about the things that are happening in this world, things which have disconnected us physically and yet connected us online. So we are all aware about this, but you have to accept what you can't, what you can't control. You
राइट।
learn to accept it
राइट।
because you have that awareness that this is the current situation. To belabor बार बार कि ऐसा क्यों हो गया, कैसे हो गया, अगर बच्चे मम्मी पापा को या घर में देखते हैं या स्कूल में भी कि टीचर्स आर सेइंग कि भाई this is not a great time and this is so difficult, we have to learn to overcome. हम
ट्रू।
इस तरह के कॉन्सेप्ट्स उनके डे टू डे क्लासरूम में उनसे शेयर करते हैं, उनको समझाते हैं कि अगर आपको द आइडिया ऑफ ग्रेटिट्यूड वंस अगेन, कि वी आर
बिल्कुल।
ब्लेस्ड, काउंट योर ब्लेसिंग। एक अच्छी हुई है, एक स्लिप में लिख के यू कैन मेक अ ग्रेटिट्यूड जार, maybe you can create a diary in which you can write, and children are doing this, they're sharing us with us their experiences. It's like a counseling session where they are literally speaking, interacting, छोटी छोटी चीजें जो बच्चे ऑब्जर्व करते हैं which they talk about. जैसे उस दिन मैं I was attending one of the classes, तो कुछ बात आ रही थी कि acceptance पे, तो कुछ बात आई कि when we grow old, like we lose the teeth. तो एक बच्ची ने बड़े स्वीटली कहा, मेरे नाना जी के बिल्कुल दांत नहीं है मैम, उनके सारे दांत टूट गए हैं। तो इट वाज you have to learn to cope. Every age, every stage brings in challenges to us. So I feel that the school is kind of making this effort where we have these specific counseling upshap sessions, we call them. Not exactly
राइट।
word, we don't choose counseling sessions because it's an interactive platform where if the parent has suggested that my child is becoming very very introvert, so we and or a teacher has observed that there is a difference in the behavior of a child, because teachers have been with
राइट।
us for a long time with the children, so they can see in that continuum a change in the attitude. So then they refer, and they are also part of that gupshup session group where they're just talking about घर में क्या है, क्या चीज बुरी लगी, अच्छी लगी, क्या अच्छा लगता है. So these are the kind of practical guidelines which we can follow. And even parents, मुझे लगता है कि बातचीत करना, एक होता है इंस्ट्रक्शन देना पूरे दिन, ये कर लो, वो कर लो, खाना खा लो, वो कर दो, नहा लो, अब सोने चले जाओ, अब पढ़ लो, अब खेल लो, अब खेल बंद कर दो. उसके बियॉन्ड अगर हम जाएं और थोड़ा सा और कनेक्ट बनाएं, एंड वो उसमें मुश्किल से क्या 5-6 मिनट लगेंगे, अगर you just
बिल्कुल।
touch base with the child, connect, that adds to the child's mental well-being. Suddenly
राइट।
बच्चे नहीं बताते, they don't open up to anybody, be it parents or be it school. So these
राइट।
are the kind of ways we can bring in more awareness amongst the children and create that sense of reconciliation, कि जो है उसमें आप जितना बदल सकते हैं उतना बदलिए, और बाकी में जो आपका चैलेंज है उसको adapt yourself to it and move forward.
Right, right. Ma'am, I have a question here I can see in the comment box. So what happens is maybe because I think everybody सबका work from home है, बच्चों का भी घर से ही काम है, और मूवमेंट बाहर की जब तक कुछ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, लोग they are not going out keeping the pandemic norms in mind. तो इस दौरान पे जो
Absolutely.
आपस में सिबलिंग्स की जो लड़ाई हो जाती है या किसी भी तरीके का जो एक फाइट से रिलेटेड जो एक आई कैन सी अ क्वेश्चन, उसको कैसे बैलेंस रखें कि लड़ाई झगड़ा कम हो और नेगेटिविटी कम रहे?
अच्छा, मेरे ख्याल से लड़ाई झगड़ा भी जो बच्चों में होता है वो इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ ग्रोइंग अप ऑल्सो. हालांकि वो पेरेंट के लिए बहुत ही अपसेटिंग केस होता है, बिकॉज आई ऑल्सो
बिल्कुल
सी माई
बिल्कुल।
नेफ्यूज, दे गेट इनटू दिस फिजिक्स। दोनों छोटे ही हैं, 5 और 2.5 साल के, बट दे लाइक छीनना छूना शुरू हो जाता है, एंड वो एक रोएगा फिर दूसरा रोएगा, ऑल दैट स्टार्ट्स, एंड देन आई फील कि मतलब हमें भी लगता है कि कि मतलब ये शांति रहे थोड़ी सी, बट देन आई
उसी का
रियलाइज
एक बैलेंस। जी जी।
बैलेंस जो मैंने मतलब मैं कोशिश करती हूँ, मैं इंटरवीन, तो आई ट्राई टू लिसन टू बोथ ऑफ देम। मतलब जब
ओके।
भी मतलब हम दोनों बैठ के दोनों की बात सुनेंगे। पहले एक तो खैर ज्यादा बात बोल ही नहीं सकता, 2.5 साल का, ही हार्डली एबल टू स्पीक, ही स्पीक्स इन सिलेबल्स, बट कि किसने उसके साथ गलत किया, दादा ने मारा या क्या किया, एवरीबडी वांट्स टू बी हर्ड। अगर मैंने कह दिया कि अच्छा एट दैट टाइम आई जज इट व्हेन दे आर फाइटिंग, यू आर रॉन्ग, oh God, it is, it's a volcanic eruption. So, what I try to do, I have also learned it. It's over a period of time that I've learned how to deal with them. That, I tell them, and my sister also does this, we tell them that, okay, जो गड़बड़ है, अब सब बैठते हैं, बातें करते हैं, थोड़ा समझते हैं किसने क्या गलत किया, आपने भी किया होगा, आपने भी किया होगा, एंड नॉट जज कि तुम लोग हमेशा लड़ते रहते हो. That is a negative thing. When you say negative, you get back.
राइट।
समवेयर दैट क्रिएट्स अ साइकिल ऑफ नेगेटिविटी. तो ये कहते रहना कि हमेशा लगते रहते हो, अरे भाई मुझे कोई एक मोमेंट ऑफ पीस नहीं मिलता है, कहाँ जाऊं मैं, मतलब हो जाता है पेरेंट्स के साथ कंटिन्यूअसली डीलिंग,
बिल्कुल
एंड
बिल्कुल।
स्पेशली ड्यूरिंग दिस पैंडेमिक. We have to understand children also don't have any beyond the sibling also interaction space. So
राइट राइट।
to use energy up in physical exercise, physical exercise में इधर में साइकिलिंग ही हो गई, थोड़ा सा to do a little bit of exercise, अच्छा चलो exercise करते हैं. So you have to of course use up the energy, and I think little bit of conflict of this kind between siblings is also a part of growing, not to see totally as a negative, and we become very aware of what we are speaking. Words become
राइट
us. So
राइट।
you need to be very positive in whatever you are saying. If you say कि हर समय लड़ते हो, तो वो बहुत नेगेटिव रिकॉल फैक्टर आता है बच्चों में.
राइट राइट। मैम देयर इज अ क्वेश्चन कि क्या ऑनलाइन क्लासेस का जो ये प्लेटफॉर्म चल रहा है पैंडेमिक को, क्या ये परमानेंटली ही एक सिस्टम बन जाएगा, फ्यूचर की भी क्लासेस का मोड ऑनलाइन ही होगा?
No, I don't think so, because I really don't think so. This is anything permanent, and because we need to be in school physically, and
राइट
that is what is, human beings are not isolated people. It's not, no man is an island. We need to
राइट
interact, and this is not all a permanent thing. It's just for the safety of the children, and we need to understand that this third wave, which may be coming, with our actions we can really postpone it forever. So
राइट
it's just that, and it will become a permanent platform, not at all, in my opinion. Never. I would never like to see it as a permanent
ट्रू
platform at all. I miss my children.
ट्रू। मैम अनदर वन मोर क्वेश्चन टू ऐड रिलेटेड टू ऑनलाइन क्लासेस, बिकॉज अभी सारी चीजें मतलब एवरीथिंग सबका स्क्रीन टाइम बढ़ा हुआ है, और पेरेंट्स की एक ये भी कंसर्न है कि बच्चों का चाहे वो को करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज हो, चाहे वो कुछ बुक रीडिंग भी हो, आजकल बुक रीडिंग भी स्टूडेंट्स दे हैव स्टार्टेड डूइंग इट ऑन देयर ईदर ऑन देयर लैपटॉप्स और किंडल काइंड ऑफ अ टैब। सो इन सारी चीजों को ध्यान में रखते हुए इस टाइम को, जो कि ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन का टाइम है, बाहर बच्चा जा नहीं पा रहा, तो वो अपनी पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट से रिलेटेड जो एक एक्सपोजर उसको मिलता है जब वो स्कूल में जाता है या और लोगों से मिलता है या कोचिंग में जाता है, तो उस चीजों को ध्यान में रखते हुए बच्चा अपनी पर्सनालिटी के लिए मैम इस टाइम को कैसे यूटिलाइज कर सकता है?
For that, Prerna, see, anyways, now, I mean, time is such that all of us have come on this digital platform. Many of us used to be very skeptical, because every technology can be used for the benefit or for the disadvantage. We can use it in the
राइट
positive way or in the negative way. So similarly, we are
राइट
using this technology in the positive way as of now. And children, we also, I mean, I including myself, I am not used to this kind of a platform 3 years back, where we are doing
राइट
a live. And I have seen that confidence in their personality
ट्रू
of the children who participate in various events. So it is creating in them that confidence of coming, on this social media platform at a very large scale in one go.
Right.
And
Right.
I think that is also part of the future. This is going to be a very important future, and this is already there are success stories where people have done economically, financially very well through these platforms. They are a very big success saga. But then we have to understand that this is only temporary. It's maybe more than a year now. But this has also added to an opportunity which children may have not ever got per se, because when they are
Right.
physically present, then why will you have something, why would they have a device through which they will interact? So I
Right.
personally feel that this occasion has also helped us train ourselves for the future. This is the future us, where we are, more, and we are, through these times, we are able to help children understand things about cybersecurity, how to keep their accounts
Right.
safe, how to be safe, some things which were really not touched upon and parents really didn't want to get into
Right.
with the child. But now we can, we have honed their skills in these areas.
Right. राइट रिचा मैम, एक क्वेश्चन अभी जस्ट लास्ट क्वेश्चन, मतलब मुझे इसमें दिख रहा है किसी स्टूडेंट का है या पेरेंट का है, उसमें ये बोल रहे हैं कि क्योंकि वो ज्यादातर टाइम या तो अपनी क्लासेस को लेकर के या अगर कुछ मतलब को करिकुलर एक्टिविटी को देख रहे हैं ऑनलाइन, तो उनके पेरेंट को ये मिसकंसेप्शन हो जाता है दैट ईदर दे आर प्लेइंग गेम्स और दे आर यूटिलाइजिंग दैट टाइम इनटू समथिंग व्हिच इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू स्टडीज। तो इस केस में पेरेंट के लिए आपका क्या मैसेज है?
To have faith, I feel faith is very important. I think uh, to have faith is very very essential.
राइट।
Because अब ये platform digital है, अभी के लिए तो है ही, and children are also noticing. आप कह सकते हैं कि हाँ, I mean, it's all right because this is a platform which is accessible now to them.
ट्रू।
There should
ट्रू।
be fixed time also. They
ट्रू।
need not be there. It can be monitored. It has to be
ट्रू।
monitored. पहले भी बच्चे homework एक limited time में ही करते थे, and they would not like to touch their homework notebooks and all beyond a certain time. So even if now
राइट।
the work is digitally to be uploaded, you do your work. It has to be monitored. The time has to be spoken. जैसे बड़े बच्चों में you can always decide कि these are your study hours. फिर उसके
राइट।
बाद you have your gadget with you for say 20 minutes, half an hour, and let them have the sense of ownership and accountability. तो बड़े बच्चों में
राइट।
especially if we keep, they do wonders. I have a student now in grade 11. तो बहुत बार उनकी मम्मी कहती थी मैम ये तो बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ता है 10th में, मुझे नहीं लगता ये बहुत अच्छा करेगा। तो मैंने कहा नहीं, वो तो अच्छा करेगा ही, he will do well. And of course it was internals, but then throughout the year he had a consistent report, and thus his report would be a very good report
राइट।
subsequently. But you see, small act of the child needs to be trusted, because if we do not have and trusted and monitored,
ट्रू।
trust is what I think it begins with, and
ट्रू।
monitoring has to be
राइट। आई थिंक दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। और एक चीज जो मैम आपने बोली, और ये कुछ बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन उसी क्वेश्चन से ही रिलेटेड है, आई कैन सी दैट कितना टाइम स्पेंड करना चाहिए ऑनलाइन। तो आई थिंक आपके स्कूल की जो क्लासेस हैं उनके अलावा यू शुड फिक्स, जस्ट लाइक आपने बोला कि जैसे जब होमवर्क करते थे तो उनका एक अपना टाइम टेबल होता था कि इवनिंग 4 to 6 दे विल बी डूइंग देयर एक्सरसाइजेज और असाइनमेंट्स। Similarly, I think that they should fix the timing in the evening, and they should be limited to it, that okay, other than my school online classes, this would be the time which I will be spending in either watching something which is related to the assignment or doing homework or maybe doing any co-curricular activity assigned by the school. So I think ma'am, okay, so if I can see a lot of comments, I have asked almost all questions. I request parents
Mhm.
to write the questions in the comment box, which I will be asking Richa ma'am. Now I can see trust and monitoring both are very important. I hope our students would be like, what ma'am has said. Now we will be on screen time check karenge. We will be on close monitoring all the time.
No, that is essential. I think first very important person who is watching is I. I'm watching myself. No, nobody else is watching you. Nobody else knows you more than yourself. So
Right.
that awareness should be there. And if I'm doing fine, let anybody monitor. How does it matter?
Right.
If I'm not
Now,
doing anything incorrect,
another
so it
question
doesn't
is,
matter, you know.
yeah, ma'am, please. Now, the parent here is asking, do you have any advice for working parents who do not have time to see that what their children are doing? Are they playing or they're studying?
I think we always have time for what matters to us, and for a parent, nothing more can matter than their child. So
Right,
I personally feel the parent always has, मतलब जैसे mother की तो कहते हैं ना, like Shiva, there is that third eye. उन्हें हमेशा पता होता है. Like when I'm
right,
talking to my nephews also, मतलब they are always like, oh, you know, wonderstruck कि आपको कैसे पता? ऐसा मुझे पता है. I have that third eye जो आपको नहीं देगी. So you see, it cannot be that, you know, time नहीं है. The time नहीं है तो फिर, you know, one has to you know, really indulge in a internal dialogue कि भाई टाइम अगर नहीं है, अगर बच्चे के लिए, तो वो हमारी, तो इट्स आर, मतलब ये हमारा दायित्व है, ये हमारा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है फॉर टुवर्ड्स माय चाइल्ड,
right,
बिकॉज अ चाइल्ड
right,
इज क्लोजेस्ट पेरेंट.
right. Right. Another question I have received, which is again related to, what you have already said in our first or second question, it's by a parent. So I request them, the question on mental health and, well-being of a student is already being discussed. Now, okay, another question is how to ask children to concentrate on studies. I think the world wants to know this. Everybody wants to know this. Concentration
वेल
and
आई
focus
थिंक देयर आर,
is,
यू सी, हम जब भी, मतलब बच्चे, मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ बच्चे ऑब्जर्व करते हैं. आप अगर बच्चे से
right,
कॉन्सेंट्रेट करो, बच्चों को नहीं समझ में आता है, दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड इसका क्या मतलब होता है. कॉन्सेंट्रेट
बिल्कुल,
एंड स्टडी, इससे क्या मतलब, द होल आइडिया इज कि अपर पेरेंट्स के साथ भी ये प्रॉब्लम होती है. अगर वो आधा घंटा पढ़ रहा है तो अच्छा नहीं है, वो 1 घंटा पढ़े,
right,
वही उतना ही कंटेंट पढ़ा है, पर वो 1 घंटा बैठा रहा या बैठी रही, तो देन इट्स फाइन. सो यू नो, व्हेन वी टीच देम द वैल्यू ऑफ टाइम, कि अगर आप,
true,
यू नो, यू आर फिनिशिंग, दिस इज योर गोल, कि आज टुडे आई हैव टू कंप्लीट दिस चैप्टर, द कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी ऑफ दिस चैप्टर, anything, any question I'm able to answer, maybe verbally and not, you know, in writing. So at that level, you should be very well versed.
true,
वो फिर आपको 2 घंटा लगे, वो आपको 1.5 घंटा लगे, वो आपको 1 घंटा. You know, there should be quality attached to your time. It should not just be time mismanagement. Because the parent feels कि अच्छा 2 घंटा पढ़े,
right,
अच्छा टाइम के साथ पढ़े. So I feel that,
right,
you know, we have to teach them the value of their time. You study for half an hour, you understand it, you take a break. You study for
right,
1 hour, you understand it, you take a break. No
right,
issues. And it is always said, shorter duration में बच्चे का जो concentration, that is better. Like even when we are
right,
having these classes, we give 10 minutes break to the children because they need to have a, you know, recap. They need to have a break from the screen. One can, you know, at least go for a stretching exercise, something you can move around in the house. You can touch base with mama in the kitchen or dad in the, you know, kitchen, whosoever has
right,
been, you know, you can speak to your sibling the way you used to have some the times and moments at school. So you know
right,
that focus and concentration can be explained through the idea of valuing time for themselves.
right,
That is what I
right,
think.
right. I think, Richa ma'am, it was really a very, very nice and a very wonderful session because a lot of questions, I can see a few questions are there which are very repetitive. So here feel that, we can again ask the parents to send us the set of questions and we might do it maybe after 15-20 days, we can revise this session once again. And otherwise, thank you everyone for being a part of this session and especially sending me the questions so that I can ask the principal. Thank you, Richa ma'am, for joining in the session
Thank
once
you.
again. Yeah. And thank you, everyone. I can see a lot of comments of parents. Thank you, Richa ma'am. It was really nice to have this conversation, which was
Thank
solely for parents and students of Allenhouse School.
you.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
It was a pleasure.